Dowell, can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Good morning. Yes, my name is Nicole Dowell, Nicole.
Ms. Dowell, where are you employed?
I'm currently employed with the Metro Nashville Police Department Crime Laboratory
Okay, how long have you been with the crime lab?
for 12 years.
What is your current assignment at the crime lab?
I'm a forensic scientist in the Drug Identification Unit.
Okay, can you walk the jury through your history at the crime lab and what kind of positions you've held?
Sure. I was hired in 2014 as a forensic technician, and then in 2015 I was promoted to a forensic scientist.
Okay. Can you describe your job at the crime lab?
Yes. My job is to analyze submitted evidence for the absence or presence of controlled substances.
And what kind of training have you had for your job?
I had to complete an internal training program that consisted of assigned readings, lectures, observation of senior scientists, practical exams, and a competency exam.
Okay, what's your education background?
I earned a Bachelor's of Science in Forensic Science from Eastern Kentucky University.
And are you required to have ongoing training?
We're not required, but we do. I participate in continuing education by attending seminars and workshops in my specific discipline.
Your Honor, at this time I would like to pass the witness out.
Thank you.
Ms. Dowell, what did I just hand you?
My CV.
Okay. Have you ever testified in court as an expert in drug ID?
Yes,
About how many times?
approximately 8 times.
Your Honor, at this time I would like to tender Ms. Dowell as an expert in drug ID.
No committee question. Okay. Or again, ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Dow will be allowed to give an expert opinion in her field, and a lay witness or untrained witness would not be allowed to give. You can place such weight upon her testimony as you choose to. Okay.
Yes, sir, and at this time, can we mark her CV as the
Okay.
state's next exhibit 26?
Get that. All right.
Ms. Dowell, were you asked to review evidence relating to a Metro Nashville Police Department complaint number ending in 0532?
Yes,
Okay. Does the crime lab assign unique lab case numbers to all the evidence it receives?
yes it does.
Okay, and what was that crime lab number associated with that complaint number I just gave you?
Do you have the report?
Did you create a report in this case?
Yes, I did. Thank you. The crime lab number is CL-23-001060.
And what type of evidence did you receive from the police department for this case?
I received drinking glasses, empty bottles, and liquid residues and liquid.
And what do you do when you receive evidence from the police department?
When I receive the evidence from my evidence receiving unit, I take it back to the unit. I photograph the evidence, then I open, inventory the contents, collect weights, sample, and then start performing my testing.
Ms. Dowell, where is the crime lab located?
It's located in Madison Precinct on the 2nd floor.
Your Honor, at this time I would like to show her state's exhibits 17 through 24.
Okay. All right. We got all of them.
Yes, sir. Ms. Dowell, if you could just look at all of the pieces of evidence Mr. Evans is going to hand you and say whether or not you reviewed this evidence.
Okay. This is submission 008, and yes, I did test this evidence.
Okay, what is that?
This is a clear drinking glass, and I can tell that I tested the evidence because of the evidence tape and my initials and the date. This is submission 007, also a clear drinking glass. And again, I see the crime lab tape with my initials and the date on it, so I did test this evidence. This is submission 006. Inside the paper bag were 2 empty bottles. I also can see the yellow crime lab tape and my initials and date, indicating I tested the item. These are submissions 003, 004, and 005. They are amounts of liquid said to be removed from drinking containers. I can tell that I tested them because, again, the yellow crime lab tape, and they have my initials and date on them.
Ms. Dowell, 009 and 010, the comforter and the washcloth, did you test those pieces of evidence at the crime lab?
No,
And why is that?
because it was suspected to contain biological material, and we do not test biological material in the drug identification unit.
Okay, what do you do with that type of evidence?
It is outsourced to a third-party laboratory.
And is NMS Labs something the crime lab routinely sends evidence to?
Yes.
And was that done in this case?
Yes, it was.
For that blue comforter and the yellow washcloth?
Yes.
And Ms. Dowell, were these pieces of evidence given to you in a sealed condition?
Yes, they were.
Okay, would you accept them if they were not sealed?
I would make it, if they were not sealed, a note would be made in my case file and it would be included on the report.
How is property stored at the crime lab?
When it's received into the crime lab, it's stored in the evidence receiving unit in one of their vaults until an analyst has been assigned. And then once the scientist or analyst is assigned the case, they notify evidence receiving unit that they'd like to pick up the evidence. Then custody is transferred to the scientist and they will take the evidence back to their specific unit, so drug identification unit in my case, and then it will be stored in the drug identification vault, inside of my personal storage locker until I'm ready to perform the analysis.
And Ms. Dowell, you are not an expert in toxicology, is that correct?
That's correct.
As part of generating your report in this case, does the report contain weight and the results of your testing?
Yes, it does.
Can you walk the jury through what type of testing you did for the pieces of evidence you tested?
Yes. So 2 tests are required in the drug identification unit. Both of the tests that I performed on each piece of evidence involved a technique called chromatography. Chromatography allows you to separate components of the mixture. But to do that, you employ a stationary phase and a mobile phase. The stationary phase remains still throughout the whole testing process, while the mobile phase, which is typically a gas or a liquid, flows over the stationary phase. Thin layer chromatography is a preliminary test that was used in this case. A glass plate coated with silica is the stationary phase. The sample is then spotted onto the plate along with a solution containing known drug standards. That plate is then placed in a solvent system. As the solvent rises vertically up the plate, separation occurs. This happens because some of the components of the mixture react differently or more strongly to the silica. So if they react more strongly to the silica, they will not travel as far up the plate. If they don't react as strongly, they will travel further. Once the solvent reaches the top of the plate, it is removed and placed in a visualization tank containing iodine. Iodine vapor allows us to visualize those spots. And then we can compare the unknown sample spots to the known sample spots, standard spots, The confirmatory test used in this case is called gas chromatography mass spectrometry, or GCMS. It is 2 separate instruments that are combined together. The gas chromatograph, again, allows for separation of components in a mixture. So in this case, the sample is injected into the instrument where it is vaporized, so it's now in a gaseous phase. It flows through a column, and that column has an internal coating, which is the stationary phase in this case. So a column, you can think of it like a long, thin straw. So if the inside of the straw is where the coating is. The mobile phase, in this case, is helium. It flows through the column and helps the components, it helps the components of the mixture travel through the column. Again, it depends on how strongly each component reacts to that column coating, how long it will take to travel through the column. Once it travels through the column, it enters into the mass spectrometer, where it is then bombarded with electrons, and it fragments. That fragmentation pattern is unique, and we can compare that to known drug standards.
And can you tell the jury what the screening is?
Yes, so the screening method is what we use on the gas chromatograph mass spectrometer. It allows for us to screen for a wide variety of controlled substances.
Okay, and is cocaine one of those substances that it would screen for?
Yes.
Okay. And that was done in all the pieces of evidence other than the comforter and the washcloth?
Yes.
Okay. And Ms. Dowell, were you able to detect any sort of substance in all of the pieces of evidence you examined?
I didn't detect any controlled substances in any of the items I tested.
Your Honor, if you'll give me 1 minute.
Okay.
Ms. Dowell, can you walk the jury through if any type of evidence would have been rinsed out or anything like that, if substances would have been picked up?
Yes, so there was a clear drinking glass that didn't appear to have any residue. There was no visible residue or contents. Those glasses were rinsed with methanol, so if there was some type of residue that I couldn't see visibly, I would extract it with the methanol.
Okay, and if these pieces of evidence had been rinsed out prior to the crime lab, is it likely substances would have popped up?
If they had been rinsed prior to coming into my possession?
Yes, ma'am.
I can't really speak to what happens to it before it comes into my possession.
Ms. Dowell, my question might have been confusing. Not something that you did or rinsed out, but if someone prior to you, not with Metro PD, would have rinsed it out with warm water, so anything like that, are these results consistent with that?
Potentially, if the glass contained some kind of controlled substance and it was washed with water, that could remove some of that controlled substance, yes.
And what else could remove controlled substances from any sort of drinking glass?
I mean, if it's a physical amount of solid material, you could just pour that amount out. It just depends on what it is and how much of it is there.
And you testified previously that the drinking glass did not look like it had anything in it. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And out of the liquids, you have a red liquid, a light pink liquid, and a clear liquid. There was no substances found in that either. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And those were from the actual bottles, correct? You tested the bottles?
Yes, I tested both, the bottles and the liquid.
And nothing was
Correct.
in either bottle, the drinking glasses, or the liquid?
Correct.
Your Honor, if I could admit Ms. Dowell's report as the state connects exhibit 27.
Okay.
That helps.
Ms. Dowell, if you were not provided with the item or the drinking glass that was used, your testing would not be helpful, is that correct? With this controlled substance in it? It would not have been detected?
If I was not provided with the drinking glass,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I don't think I understand the question.
If a drinking glass had contained a controlled substance, but you were not provided with that drinking glass, your testing on the other two would not have been helpful, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And if the controlled substance had been in the clear drinking glasses, the two you were provided with, that had been rinsed out with water, warm water, cold water, soapy water, it would have removed, it is possible and highly likely that it would have removed that controlled substance.
Yes.
Definitely.
All right, I'll overrule the objection. She's answered it. Any other questions?
No, sir. That's the state's.
All right, question on behalf of Mr. Taylor.
Yes, thank you. May I see it? 27, please. Good morning, Ms. Dowell.
Good morning.
So you're only testing stuff that you're given, right?
Correct.
You don't really make any sort of investigative decisions about what's tested and what isn't tested, right?
I don't make any investigative decisions as far as what is submitted to the laboratory.
Sure. So things are submitted to you and you test what's submitted, right?
Correct.
May I publish Exhibit 27
Sure.
to Ms. Dowell? And this is your report that's been admitted as Exhibit 27. Can you identify it?
Yes, can you scroll to the last page where my signature is, please?
Oh, yeah, sure. That's your signature there?
Yes.
At the front of this report, it says the submitting officer is Adam Reese. Is that right?
Yes.
So he's the one who submitted the items to you?
No, he's the one that submitted the Form 282 or the forensic services request to our evidence receiving unit.
Oh, so he makes the request as to what gets tested.
In this instance, yes.
Okay. I noticed on here, items 7 and 8, there's a clear drinking glass, item 7, right?
Yes.
And then item 8 is identified as a clear drinking glass with light pink residue. Is that kind of your description of it there?
Yes, that's my description.
Is that something where you described a process where you kind of do a rinse?
Correct.
Is that a process where you would do the rinse in that glass?
Yes.
And then you would test whatever comes out of the rinse to determine if there's controlled substances?
Yes.
And in this situation, there were no controlled substances found in any of this, right?
That's correct.
And there were some questions asked by the state. Isn't it possible that some of these glasses were washed and maybe that's why you didn't find anything? That's kind of what was asked, right?
Yes.
Is it also possible that there were never any drugs in these glasses?
Yes, that's a possibility.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. You
Thank
can
you.
step down to be excused. Who's the next witness?
The next witness is Detective Tom Miller.
Okay.
He is going to be a bit lengthy, and there are some things that I need to show to defense counsel prior to him testifying.
Okay, is there someone else to call?
The next person is Dr. Carney, who is the expert, and he has to testify before her, so no.
What do they not have?
Well, from yesterday's testimony, there were some additional exhibits that were added to his testimony, so I need to show them to them before we put them up. That's true.
Okay, I need to proceed on, so if you have a witness, we can call.
You for a little while, in regards to the scene as we're discussing it, for a while you believed that there was a missing cup, didn't you?
I did, yes, for a little while.
And in fact, you believe that it was Mr. Taylor who had removed that cup out of the scene, didn't you?
That was my suspicion. I knew there was a cup missing, or I thought there was a cup missing.
And you arbitrarily assigned that Miss D to Mr. Taylor, didn't you?
I never said he removed a cup from the scene that I can think of. I just said that I believe there had been some cleanup because there was a cup that was unaccounted for.
And who did you believe did the cleanup throughout your report?
Specifically of that cup, I don't know.
You didn't think that it was Mr. Taylor who did the cleanup?
Like I said, I don't know. I can say that the cup is in a picture that was on Jade's phone prior to her falling ill. And then later, when we get there, it is over by the sink, sitting next to the wall, the backsplash.
Certainly sitting by the sink inaccessible for you to remove tape tests, correct?
Yes, at that time, if we had known.
And so there was nothing stopping you from knowing, because when you went in to execute the search warrant, the cup was right there the entire time, wasn't it?
There was something to stop me from knowing it was relevant because we didn't get in her phone that night. So I was looking at the glasses that were on the island because glasses were mentioned in the interviews, and looked at those as those were relevant. I wasn't inclined to seize all her drinkware.
Well, wasn't there allegations that Ms. Benning was poisoned as a result of something she was drinking?
Yes.
Would it not have been important to grab every cup, every glass that you saw that was out if we were in search for exactly what happened there that night?
Oh, in retrospect, I absolutely wish I would have done that, but just that night, I did not, because we thought those were the glasses that were in use.
And then it's safe to say none of those glasses or those cups that you left there were tested, were they?
The ones that were left there, no.
And Mr. Taylor did not therefore remove anything from that apartment based on your knowledge.
I'm not aware of him removing anything other than his personal belongings.
Now, as you were learning about the incident, you learned that there was another gentleman who was present that evening with Mr. Taylor, with Mr. Benning, and with Miss Jackson.
Yes.
And that individual not only was present in the house that night, he was also present on this phone call that Miss Jackson says these allegations were made against Mr. Taylor. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
And when you learned about this incident, did you, and that person is Keontae Jones, right?
And to correct what I just said, he was not present on the phone call where she made the allegations. He was present on a return phone call made by Miss Jackson with him merged into the call.
Within minutes of that call, correct?
Yes, it was a few minutes after.
He was the only other person besides Miss Jackson that would have heard Miss Benning in her distressed state. Would you agree with that?
By that point, she was already believed to be unconscious, so he wouldn't have heard anything.
Well, he didn't tell you that he heard her mumbling a little bit but couldn't make out words, but he could hear her trying to talk?
I can't recall exactly.
And knowing that he was present there that night, knowing that he was the only other person on the phone with her, did you bring him downtown to talk to him like you thought it was important to talk to Miss Burks and Miss Jackson?
Not at that time that night. They were there available, ready to go, and I was going to have to follow up with him later. I also didn't even learn about him until that interview.
Which was the 26th?
It was probably 1 o'clock in the morning or so. It was getting close to 1 o'clock before I was even aware of Keontae Jones.
1 o'clock on the 27th?
Yes.
So
It was during the interview with Nigeria, I believe, that I learned a little about that.
not even 48 hours after the incident.
Yes, that's correct.
And so after you learned about him, why didn't you bring him downtown so that you can talk to the only other witness to witness Miss Benning's distressed state and the person who was inside of the apartment that night?
Because I was going to talk to him at a later time.
And how did you talk to him at a later time?
I've interviewed him over the phone.
It wasn't important to bring him down?
I've interviewed people over the phone all the time. I try to bring people down sometimes, and sometimes I'll talk to them over the phone. Sometimes I'll talk to them in the field.
Did you do any research on Mr. Jones to see if he had any criminal history, to see anything nefarious about him?
Objection, Your Honor.
Let the lawyers step up.
What all did you do in regards to Keontae Jones besides talking to him on the phone?
I just interviewed him over the phone.
Now, after you met with Ms. Burks, you met with Ms. Jackson. Is that right?
Yes.
And she explained to you the context and things of their relationship, Mr. Taylor and Ms. Benning, correct?
Yes, she did.
And there was some information that she had given you that wasn't quite consistent with what was going on between them. Would you agree?
You'd have to specify what you're talking about there. I'm not sure.
Well, didn't she also state to you that Mr. Taylor abruptly ended the relationship because Ms. Benning had gotten pregnant?
I can't remember specifically that was the wording she used. It was definitely the impression that I got from the interview.
And that wasn't completely accurate, was it?
Well, it was framed in the situation that he had given her an ultimatum between getting rid of the baby or the relationship, and that was my understanding of the reason she said, well, I'm not getting rid of the baby.
And he gave her the freedom to make her own choice, did he not?
At that time, yes.
That is very different than abruptly leaving someone because they're pregnant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, during the search of the apartment, by the time that you and the other officers are conducting the search, you are under the impression that there is, in fact, a potential poisoning, aren't you?
Yes, at the time we're searching.
And therefore, drugs were at issue, were they not?
Yes, they would have been.
Would it have been important to look into all of the drawers and boxes and anything where drugs can potentially be hidden?
Sure.
That didn't happen, did it?
I don't know. I didn't search the entire apartment myself. My entire team was involved in searching, so I feel like we did a fairly thorough search. But I don't know specifically what every single item, every container was opened, because there were several of us conducting the search.
You'll agree with me that every box was not looked into.
I can't say yes or no to that because I didn't personally search everything in the apartment.
Well, you didn't do that, did you?
I didn't search everything in the apartment?
Yes.
No, I personally did not. My team, we conducted the search.
You were the lead detective, though, right?
Correct.
You were running the show.
Correct.
You didn't instruct those officers who were there to find drugs to look in any place where drugs could be stored.
Well, everybody knew that's what we were looking for, any evidence of poisoning. So that's everybody operating under that assumption and understanding.
So if you didn't look into every drawer, every box, every container, would that have been an oversight that could have potentially led to more evidence?
Potentially, but also potentially not.
There was also, if I may, Your Honor. There was also talk about a pink liquid that Ms. Benning was drinking, correct?
Yes.
And there was talk about Ms. Benning stating that her drink tasted funny, right?
Yes.
And that is what made those cups so important to test, correct?
Yes.
This lemonade and fruit punch that was placed on the corner there, do you see that?
Yes.
That was something that you gathered and tested as well, correct?
Our CSI, he took the samples of those liquids and tested them, yes.
Because there were no other drinks that matched the description that Ms. Jackson had given you in that apartment. Is that correct?
I'm not aware of any others.
And you did, in fact, test those drinks.
No, the crime lab did, yes.
And it turned out that there was nothing in there that would be the equivalent of cocaine or anything else that could poison someone, correct?
That's correct.
Good morning, Ms. Barrett. Could you please state your full name for the record?
Jennifer Barrett.
And Ms. Barrett, where are you employed?
The Department of Emergency Communications.
What is your position at the Department of Emergency Communications?
I'm the custodian of records.
And can you describe, as part of your duties, does that involve any calls to 911 or police dispatch?
Yes, both.
And can you describe, when someone places a 911 call, what type of records are generated by the Department of Emergency Communications?
Well, when the phone call is taken, the call taker will create a CAD report, is what we call it, with all the information in there.
And that information that would go into a CAD report, is that information inputted by the person who's answering the 911 call?
Yes,
And is it based off of the dispatcher's conversation on the phone with whoever's called into 911?
yes, they get the information from the caller.
And are those calls recorded?
Yes,
And are they specific to a timestamp where that is recorded as part of the call?
yes,
And anything in the CAD report that is different than what's in the actual audio of the call, would the audio be what you would rely on
yes,
versus anything that's a typed note?
yes,
Did you specifically review the Department of Emergency Communication records for any calls placed to 911 specific to this particular case?
yes,
And specifically, did you pull and review a phone call made at 29:38 and 58 seconds on February 25th of 2023?
yes,
And I have that audio on a thumb drive, if I can ask that that be handed to this witness, along with a copy of the transcript. Do y'all need anything extra? Ms. Barrett, did you actually review that 911 audio?
I listened to it, yes,
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, I would ask to admit the audio on the thumb drive as well as the transcript. And I should have 7 copies and 2 stacks for the jury.
Okay, the exhibit 10. Or again, ladies and gentlemen, the audio will be both exhibits, the transcripts to assist you. If there's any differences in the two, you have to rely on what you recall hearing.
Your Honor, may I have the actual thumb drive? For some reason, this one is not playing.
Saturday, February 25, 2023, 21:38 and 58 seconds.
911, what is the location of your emergency?
I'm not
sure it's on Donaldson Pike. I'm at a friend's house and I think she's having an allergic reaction.
What's the address on Donaldson, sir? That way you can find her.
I don't know. It's an apartment complex.
Is there a piece of mail with her? With the address?
I'm looking around. Just give me a second. I'm looking around. I don't know what's going on. I think she just passed out. Give me 1 second.
Okay, are you on Donaldson Pike or are you on Lebanon?
Here. Lebanon.
Yeah,
Lebanon. It's apartment 107.
What is it? Is it 1540 Lebanon Pike?
I don't know. It's not Burger King. I do know that. Let me look at. I'm going to the front of the building to get at the condo slash apartment. Yeah, I'm trying to see the name of it. I'm running to the front.
Okay, is there a Mapco in the corner there, sir?
Is there a what?
The Mapco in the corner?
I'm not sure. I just passed it. I'm running. The Ontario, 1522-1550 Lebanon Pike. The Ontario.
1522?
Yes. The Ontario, 1522-1550 Lebanon Pike.
So the Ontario 1522, she's in apartment 107, and she's having an overdose, is that correct?
I don't know. I think she's having an allergic reaction. We were getting cookies and painting, and then she said she wasn't feeling good, and I'm running back to the room to check on her.
No, and what's just in case we disconnected while you're getting up there, what's the callback number in case we disconnected?
This number right here.
Is it 8 number I'm talking about? Okay, and how old is she?
23, 24.
Okay, is she awake right now?
Yes.
Okay, and you think she was having an allergic reaction to food?
I don't know. We got cookies and pasta. I don't know what she's done, if she's done anything today or anything, but everything was fine, and then I don't know what's happening. She got spit coming out of her mouth and she's shaking.
So you think it's possibly a reaction to not having food, is that correct?
I think so. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think she's allergic to anything. I don't know if she is or not.
It could be a new allergic reaction. So are you back next door, yes sir?
Yeah.
Okay, does she appear to be breathing normally?
Yeah.
Okay, does she appear to have any difficulty swallowing?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
No. Okay, is she awake? Are there any questions?
Yeah, she's awake.
Okay, so can you just gently roll her onto her side right now?
Yeah, she's on the side.
Okay. Okay, yeah, because if she's having like vomit or anything else that's coming out right now, so you just keep her under her side for right now, and you can finger squeeze out only what you can see of her patient's bowel, okay? And you can wipe her mouth, okay? Hello, sir? Hello?
Yeah, I'm in the house. I'm in the house.
Okay. Okay. Can you ask, is she able to answer if she's having difficulty swallowing or feeling any swelling in her lips or her throat or face, anything like that?
No.
Okay, she's looking for,
I think one of our friends is on the way.
Okay.
I don't know what to do.
Oh,
Is there anything else I should be doing?
okay. And then, does she have an EpiPen?
Do you have an EpiPen? Do you have an EpiPen? I don't think so. I don't think so. She's not responding.
Okay, and then, and what is it? So other than her just feeling kind of weak and passing out, does she have any other symptoms right now?
No, she's no. I mean, she's pretty relaxed. She's laying on her side.
Okay. Okay, did she appear to have any rash or hives anywhere on her body that you can see?
Not that I can see. And she just, I don't see anything on her legs or on her arms, so she looks fine.
Okay. And does her condition look to be getting worse?
I don't think so. I don't really know how to tell.
Okay, no, it's just like, because if she's ever looked at reaction, a lot of times the rash, hives, it'll be redness, her mental status could be getting worse, or breathing.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Alright, sir, so we already have help on the way. So just
Okay.
So
Do I just stay on the line, or what do I do?
So I'm just gonna give you the charge, but do you need me to stay on the line with you until the paramedics arrive, sir?
Well, is there anything else I have to be doing? I don't think just got, I mean, there's nothing else.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
Yeah, because if so right now, because she's awake and we're grabbing, she's moving air freely. She's not struggling to breathe or wheezing or gasping or anything like that.
No, but it looks like she's throwing up some.
Okay. Yeah, so you can cook right for now.
Okay, I did. I'm up in the mouth.
Okay. And she's freely moving air?
It's what?
Does it look like she's freely moving air?
Yeah, she's breathing, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, so we're just gonna keep her on her left side right now. We're just trying to keep her comfortable right there, okay?
Okay.
Alright, so just for right now, nothing for her to eat or drink. Just keep her in that comfortable position right now. Just have her medications there for the paramedics if she has any with her. Make sure you touch them.
I don't know if she has any medication, to be honest. I don't really.
No, that's okay, sir. And then just be at the door to let the department in. And if you look around and see those peak of mail, I just want to make sure, because the building that they're describing has two separate addresses. So I want to make sure they're on the right one.
I don't think she has any. I mean, she got a mailbox, but it's not like it's an apartment, so it's not. I think it's more of a PO box. I don't know if she keeps her mail. I don't even know if you're a few times. I'm not sure.
Are you in the? Because it looks like based on what you're describing, are you in the main large building or the smaller one?
I would guess the main larger one. I mean, there's multiple floors, multiple stories.
Okay, because it looks like on the map I'm looking at, it looks like 1540 is for the large building, and 1522 or 1532 is the small ones that are right next to the street. You're the big one?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay, this is where.
Anything else I should be doing?
Okay. No, so all I want you is to continue to monitor her breathing and lung responses for any changes. So if anything else changes, call us back. But they're on the route to 1540, left on Pine, over in Hermitage. And she's in apartment 107, cross street to Spence on Cliff Way in Spence Lane at the Ontario, okay?
Yes, okay.
Alright, so if anything changes before they arrive, give us a call back. Yeah, she'll be arriving there as quickly as they can, okay?
Okay. Alright. I think I hear him.
Okay, that's all, sir.
Alright. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome, sir.
Alright.
Mark, you can pass those documents. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Barrett, is that the only call that came in to 911 from that scene?
From that scene, yes.
Were there subsequent calls that came in that were not anyone calling from that location or at that time?
Yes.
And were all three of those calls placed to ECC by somebody at the Integral Hospital?
Yes.
Thank you very much. I don't have any other questions.
Good morning, Ms. Barrett.
Good morning.
Please correct me if I'm wrong, but that's not you on that call, right?
No.
So you're not the actual 911 operator. You work for emergency communications, right?
Yes.
So your role here is to kind of review the calls and pull the ones that are relevant to the case.
Yes.
So there's a whole like kind of team of people that kind of handle the numerous calls that come in on any sort of night.
Yes.
And they're trained, and answer this if you can, they're trained as to how to handle calls, how to deal with people in emergency situations. Is that fair?
Yes.
And I don't know, maybe you can help me or help the jury. They're trained with either scripts or with very specific training as to how to walk people through emergency situations.
They have 6 weeks worth of class to learn the computer and how to talk to people. However, they got 3 months of on-the-job training with a trainer sitting next to them listening to their calls to help them know how to deal with things in an emergency situation.
And I've got to imagine that these calls run a very wide range of kinds of things that people call 911 for.
Yes.
And anything from medical emergencies to, shootings to everything in the middle. Is that fair?
Yes.
And so the people handling 911 calls have trainings on how to deal with all sorts of different calls. Is that right?
Yes.
They have trainings on how to deal with all kinds of, maybe the right word is temperament, or all kinds of reactions, or whatever the kind of state that the person on the other end is in.
The on-the-job trainer can help them when it comes up. Maybe they haven't experienced it yet. So if they experience it, the trainer can coach them in what they need to do and say.
Okay. Sometimes, I guess, is it fair that maybe almost no two calls are the same, that almost every call is different?
Yes.
Is that fair? So you indicated that you pulled several calls related to this incident. Is that right?
Yes.
Was this call that we just listened to the very first call that was made related to this incident?
Yes.
So in terms of the timeline, this was the earliest in time that was made related to the incident.
Yes.
And it was the only call that was made from that actual location.
Yes.
Now, I can't remember the exact address, it's like 1522 Lebanon Pike, is that right? Is that right?
As far as I can remember, yes.
As far as you remember, that's fair. I appreciate that. And we just heard the call and read the transcript. During that call, the individual calling, who's been identified as Mr. Taylor, provides some information and is sort of walked through some kind of instructions. Is that kind of fair?
Yes.
And based on sort of your review of other cases and lots of other calls, is that conversation fairly consistent with 911 call training?
Yes.
Early in that call, so the initial report is Mr. Taylor indicates that he thinks his friend is having an allergic reaction. That's kind of right at the beginning, right?
Yes.
And at some point, the call operator says, so it's the Ontario 1522, she's in apartment 107, and she's having an overdose.
Yes.
So something like that, where a call operator says, hey, I hear what you're saying, but he or she changes on their own that it might be an overdose. Is that part of the training?
No.
So is there a circumstance where a call operator may listen to what's being described and say, this doesn't sound like an allergic reaction, it sounds like...
Objection, Your Honor, to speculation.
Okay, I mean, you're asking her to...
I'm asking about...
her opinion about what the operator was saying?
No, I'll clarify the question. I'm asking about training. Is it part of call operator training that they might listen to symptoms as described by someone calling and say, I'm going to change either in the CAD or in the dispatch what type of call this is?
No.
Do you know why in this call? And if you don't, you don't.
She wouldn't know why.
Okay. Okay. So, based on this call, well, let me ask this question. Does emergency communications maintain a separate CAD report from the Metro Nashville Police Department?
Yes.
So you have like your own CAD that generates information that's provided to dispatch?
Yes.
And so those reports have to be requested from emergency communications.
I'm sorry, say again.
I'm sorry. To get those reports, those have to be requested from emergency communications.
Yes.
As opposed to when police are dispatched, those are requested from the police department.
Yes.
And those indicate the communications between emergency and the fire department or the EMS.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Barrett. Is that right?
Any redirect? Thank you.
Thank you.
I would ask to publish the video and have the jury.
Okay, you can pass those copies out. Hold on, just.
Hold up. And while it's frozen there for the moment, Officer Five, can you tell us what is the area? Where are we looking at? What are we looking at here?
So this is I'm walking out of the entrance to the emergency room to like the lobby area. So this had been like, there's a valet area in the front of Vanderbilt ER. He's standing right next to that valet area.
And just for the sake of asking, the person in the yellow top, have any involvement with this?
No.
Somebody walking by?
Yeah, it's just, there's a lot of foot traffic around Vanderbilt ER as you'd expect from a big hospital.
I'm just saying, this does have audio, so not ask anything while it's playing.
All right, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you've been given a transcript that the officer says is fair and accurate. But if you find from your listening to the audio, seeing on the visual that there's something different between what you hear and what's related in the transcript, you have to rely on what you think was said. Okay?
Do we need?
Mike. Okay.
Hey ma'am, what's happening today? What's happening today?
So, my girlfriend, she's obviously in the emergency room or whatever.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, I was the last one. We were together on a date night.
Where were you? Where? Where?
At her place.
At her place, okay. Where's that?
It's off Lebanon Pike. It's a new build. She just moved there.
You know the address?
No, I don't know the exact address. I just know I know how to get there. Get this real
drinking at all tonight or anything?
Yeah, not any alcohol. I mean, no alcohol or anything like that. There's no alcohol.
Were you guys arguing or anything like that?
Oh, no, not at all.
No argument.
We don't do that. We haven't. Yeah, no, I understand, but no, we don't have any arguments.
So do you know what, like, was it some GA or you know?
I don't know. The people I talked to on 911, they just told me that they thought it was just like motion time or reaction. So they were asking me a lot of medical questions, but I didn't really know. They were asking me about everything, you know, just emergency stuff. And I don't know. They got that kind of stuff.
Anything else that you can remember?
Besides that, just spend, here or whatever. He's still in that
1903 actually now?
Yes, sir.
There's no like violence or anything like that, threat violence, stuff like that.
Oh, no.
It's just all medical kind of thing.
Yeah. She just had some type of, yeah, absolutely.
All right, you.
And Your Honor, with course permission, I publish this, but
Okay.
before General Norman hits the, I know Your Honor has something probably to say to the jury about the transcript.
Yeah, it's the same instruction, and then again, if you find something different from the transcript and what you hear, then rely on what you yourself hear.
And Officer Klinsky, while the screen is still frozen, who are we seeing in this screenshot?
I believe in this screenshot I see Officer Pfeiffer and Mr. Blaise Taylor.
Okay, now, could you identify by what he's wearing, who Mr. Taylor is in this?
In the screenshot, he's wearing a blue mask around his face with a gray hoodie and white shoes.
Okay, and the individual sitting in the chair next to the wall, do you know who that is or was, and whether they had anything to do with this case?
As far as I have no idea who that individual is.
Okay, did you have any interaction with that individual?
No, sir.
Okay. And the date and time, military time, what is that?
It says February 26, 2023. Looks like it's just after midnight.
It'd be 12:01 and 51 seconds a.m.
Yes.
And Your Honor, if we could play that.
Okay.
You Blaise? Yeah, sure. I'm going to talk over there. Just curious, because I haven't got to talk to you yet. What happened?
So she texted me today, went through the day night. She didn't tell me exactly what it was going to be. Just like, hey, I'm at 7, I got some plant boys. Cooked dinner, we ate, we had date night. Frank came over to pick up, she made a bunch of food, so Frank came over to pick up some of the food we left. Anyway, so we had date night. Started feeling sick, and then...
Just after you ate?
Yeah, so this was probably a little bit afterwards. I don't know what time it was. So we were hanging out, whatever. And then she started feeling sick. I called my dad. I was like, hey, she's really sick. I'm not really sure what to do. And then he told me to call 911. I called 911. And then literally talked to the EMS people or the paramedics, whoever's on 911. I talked to them. And they were like, hey, do this, turn on the side, all this stuff. And then I had to step out just because I didn't really know the apartment complex was a new apartment.
So I ran outside, saw like the name, told him the name to get the address, but then outside of that, that's really what happened. And ambulance back and all that kind of stuff. It was just like, really, it's kind of just all been like a blur.
Yeah, did she say anything to you while she was passing out? Or?
She was just really, it was just all a blur. She was just saying like she didn't feel good and stuff. And I was just trying to help her, and then I panicked and I didn't know what was going on, so I just called my pops, and I was like that. And then he was like, hang up with me, call 911, and then that's what I did. So she was just like really kind of hectic and kind of blurred, and adrenaline's pumping and all that stuff. So it's just
And stuff between you two, nothing rocky or anything like that?
Things have been good. I mean, I've seen her the last, I think 3 days in a row. I just got back in town, and so I saw her, this was that Saturday, so I saw her probably the last 3 days. The last 3 days in a row, we hung out. So we had a date night tonight. Yesterday, we had Waffle House, we went brunch day or whatever, and then I saw her Thursday as well. So,
Gotcha. She don't have any medical conditions, you know of?
not that I know of. I mean, she's pregnant, but outside of that, nothing that I know of. People, when I call 911, they kind of ask me that too. If she had any allergies or anything around, I didn't know, so I kind of scrambled to try to look for anyone, but I couldn't really find.
I got you. Okay. Well, thanks. Appreciate it. You're good to sit down.
Thank you.
And on the next photograph, what are we seeing here?
This is just the initial external photograph of where Miss Denning lived, the building. Just a close-up of the sign denoting the building and what apartments are in that building.
And if we're standing looking at that 1540 in the apartment, where would the person be who is taking that photograph?
Outside.
Okay. And is the parking lot?
Yes, correct. It's just a close-up, still outside of the apartment number.
Now, do you recall, was 107 on the first or second floor?
It'd be on the first level, first floor. Just a photograph of the external door going into the apartment 107.
I think we've already covered this, but was the door open or closed when you first walked up to it?
When I walked up to it, it was unlocked, yes.
Okay. And so did you pull it back to take this photograph?
That, I don't recall if the door was propped open. I believe it was shut when I first arrived and took the photograph. I don't recall.
And the reason I ask that is once you entered, were there officers inside as you were taking your photographs?
There were, I think a couple of homicide unit detectives were in there.
Right. Now, moving on to the next photograph. What are we seeing and where are we in the apartment?
Yeah, this is immediately as you come in the door, the first photograph. Captures part of the kitchen because the apartment, the way it's set up, you walk directly into the kitchen, the door. So that's the first photograph I take, as if you're walking into the door, this is what I see. Again, it's a little better flash. Just kind of working my way around the room. Same location, just shifted a little bit more to the right.
And with respect to the counter or the island area there, were there items of interest to you?
There were, yes.
And what were those?
The items of interest that had been identified to me by the homicide unit were the two bottles, the Minute Maid and the V8 splash bottle there in the middle. This glass, which was half filled with clear liquid, and this glass, which was empty.
with respect to where that Minute Maid and the other bottle had been before you entered, were you aware of where they were located?
I was advised that those bottles had been placed on the counter by the homicide unit who had removed them from the refrigerator.
Clear. Not good.
Oh.
And we'll go to the
This is just a photograph of the island at the center of everything.
And when I asked a few minutes ago if there were homicide detectives inside
Yes.
while you were working,
There's one of them there to the right.
at that time, based upon the information you had, did the paintings, for lack of a better term, there on the island have any significance to you?
No.
Did you consider them to be evidentiary matters to be collected?
Not from the information I had at that time, or just from looking at it, I didn't see anything of value.
Move on. And in this, again, as you're saying, you're panning or taking views from different angles, is that correct?
Yeah, it's just where I stand in the same spot initially, and I'll just kind of slice the room up like a pie and just go around from one corner to the other corner.
And you made pie, that might, or said the word pie, that made me think, did you see any food?
There was on top of the stove and the pan, there were cookies, baked cookies.
Did you notice any security camera surveillance inside the apartment? I would direct your attention to where Detective Mathis.
Yeah, I had to think that for the second. Just, right there in the corner right there. Right next to Detective Mathis's right elbow.
Could you circle that?
Sure.
Did that appear to be activated or?
No, from what I recall, no.
Reference the cookies.
Yes.
Are they in this photograph? And if you could circle.
Sure.
And to the right of the cookies, did that also appear to be food items?
It did. I don't recall looking inside. There, right there, the Tupperware containers.
And again, with the same sort of question, did those have any evidentiary value with respect to anything that you knew about this case?
No, sir.
And close-up view of what previously looked at, is that correct?
That's correct.
Do you recall whether there were any dirty dishes in the sink or?
I don't recall any, no.
And again, more of a close-up of what we've already discussed, is that correct?
Correct, yes, sir.
Now, in looking at the cookies, does there appear to be one missing?
Appears to be two missing.
Two. And where is this? And is this still Detective Mathis in the background?
It is. This just shows just down from there the position of where the trash can was in relation to the rest of the kitchen, and just shows a more complete photograph of the kitchen. Photograph of the kitchen island just from the opposite side. Close up of the glass that was identified to me by the homicide unit and the clear liquid inside.
And was that one of the items that were later collected?
It was, yes. This photograph of the Minute Maid bottle and the V8 splash bottle, again, that had been identified by the homicide unit as things they wish collected. Close-up of those same two bottles. That's a close-up of the empty drinking glass that was also identified by the homicide unit as something they wanted collected.
Other than what we're seeing here on the island, do you recall whether there were any other drinking glasses on any other counter or elsewhere?
I'm sure there was. I don't recall seeing any that homicide believed warranted my attention, or I didn't see any that had any liquids in it or looked to be recently used. Just a close-up of the same glass.
Now, to the left of the, as we're looking at it, the glass, does there appear to be a piece of paper?
Right there, it looks like it's instructions for the card game Uno. It's just an overall shot of the living room area. This is a shot from the living room, looking into the bedroom.
Do you recall how many bedrooms there were in this apartment?
There's two. 2 bed, 2 bath.
And which one are we looking into now?
It's the only one that had a bed in it. I assume that was Miss Denning's room. It's the one, if you're facing, it's on the right of the living room if you're facing the living room. This was the initial view. As you walk through the door, you're right in the door frame of the bedroom. And again, like before, this is to my immediate left, and I will rotate around with the photographs, just basically corner to corner.
Now, with respect to the blinds, were they in that condition as in being pulled down and closed when you entered?
Yes, what you're seeing in these photographs is how it was when I first witnessed it, when I first saw it. Again, just the opposite corner, showing part of the bed and the window. Again, just rotating around, a shot of the bed. Again, rotating around to the opposite corner and showing the door to the walk-in closet.
With respect to the glass, the drinking utensil there on the end table, did that have any significance?
No.
And in fact, did you collect anything from the bedroom?
No. The only thing I collected was there on the island, per what homicide instructed and what they wanted.
I want to ask before we leave the nightstand, in any area of the bedroom, did you see a weapon?
There is one. This shot doesn't show it. I think one of the shots me coming out of the closet will show it, but there is one.
And where was it?
Like I said, you can't see it, but you'll see it in a different photograph. It's right in there. It's a pistol in the holster. You'll see the top end of it.
I believe we will, as you say, get to it in a moment.
Yes, I think it's the series after I photograph in the closet, turn back around and take more photographs. It's just the door to the walk-in closet. Just from the door, a view of the walk-in closet.
And did you, for lack of a better term, search that to any extent?
I visually searched it. No, I visually searched it, looked through it. Again, the homicide unit detectives were the one executing the search warrant and it signed off. So.
Were you directed to collect anything from there?
No, sir. It's just the closet floor. Just working my way up to the what's on the hangers in the closet and the tops of the closet. This is just me coming back out of the closet facing the bedroom. And again, just a photograph of a nightstand.
And
Should be the next one.
yes,
And there, it's just an overall of the nightstand and what's around, and just what we was talking about earlier.
did you, excuse me, circle that?
Right there.
Did that have any evidentiary value as far as you were concerned?
No, it wasn't a shooting scene. There was no allegation that anyone had been shot or any gun had been used. Someone's private weapon. Didn't make any sense. There was no reason to collect it.
Was anything illegal about it?
No.
Now, the item, see an item, I guess it would be in the photograph down,
Mhm.
white straps.
Mm-hmm.
What was that, you know?
I believe it was a Apple, or is an Apple Watch or an Apple-esque type watch.
And again, at that time, based upon information, did it have any evidentiary value as far as being collected?
No, nothing was said to me, no.
Now, the bottle with the yellow top,
Mm-hmm.
you recall what that was?
It was a supplement. I don't remember exactly what the supplement was off the top of my head.
And the item to the right of the yellow top bottle?
Looks to be a candle next to a half-eaten package of peanut butter M&Ms, a Sharpie pen, and an adapter.
And now you're walking out of the closet, correct?
Correct. Again, just a different series of photographs there, just from a different angle. Again, that was at the door, bedroom door facing out. Just to the left before you walk out, there's a door on the left that was the bathroom in the bedroom. That's what this is.
Recall how many bathrooms there were?
2.
So this is the one off the,
One off the, what they would call the master bedroom, yes. Just as you walk through the door, just a photograph of the tub and the initial photographs of the bathroom.
and appeared to be anything out of the ordinary in the bathroom?
No, not at all. Again, just same series, just different angle. Same bathroom, different angle.
Let me ask, Mr. Terry, when Detective Reese gave you the plastic bag comforter, did you open it up and look at it?
I did.
Right then?
Yes.
Okay. And what, if anything, was within the white bags, trash bags?
It was a blue comforter and a yellow washcloth.
I'll say, did you, in looking through the apartment, see anything similar to the washcloth that was in the bag?
Yeah, it looked similar to those up there.
Move on.
Just close up of the sink in that same bathroom.
Again, anything strike you as being unusual or
No, just
evidence?
it's spotless, but very clean. That's the only thing. This is from the door of the Miss Denning's bedroom facing the other bedroom through the living room. Just the other bedroom from the door looking in. Again, just rotating around the room. This is a corner of that same room. Again, just rotating to the right, covers the right corner of the room.
Did you go through any of the, like that hamper or look at the magazines there?
Just cursory glance. I know that one had something to do with pregnancy and becoming pregnant.
Was there you may have already answered this, said this, but was there a bed in that second bedroom?
No, there was not. 2 chairs, look like some baby clothes in the opposite, which we'll see here in a second.
And are we still in that second bedroom?
Now, I think we skipped some photographs there. Because this is facing the bedroom from inside the walk-in closet attached to the second bedroom.
So did you spend any great significant amount of time in that second?
Yeah, photographed it from a couple of different angles, yes. There we go. Photograph from inside the closet, or from the door leading into the attached walk-in closet.
Let's go back there for a second. Did you see in that bedroom or that closet any items that would be associated with a baby?
Oh, yes. You have a couple of baby holders. I think that was a walker. When you'll see on additional photographs over here on the side, you're going to show some boxes with, I think, with diapers and some formula. Just the bathroom attached to the second bedroom and the second walk-in closet. Same, just a toilet, counter. The walk-in closet again, just showing what's on the top shelf.
Okay. I believe you referenced Pampers or those.
Yeah, there's some Pampers over here. It shows the far corner from the bedroom looking into the walk-in closet. This was on that shelf that I just took. You got some wipes, some formula, diapers, different items relating to child care, infant care. Again, just some items on the floor. Looks like something else from Pampers down in the box below. This was the walk-in closet from the bathroom facing back into the bedroom. That same corner just shows what's on the shelf. And what shows below. Looks like that was a walker / car seat for an infant. Just more of a close-up view of those same 2 walkers and baby carrier seat.
Did you look in any of those tubs or the ice chest?
I did not know.
So, finish the photography part.
Yes, sir.
What comes next?
What comes next is to do the evidence collection.
And are there any procedures or protocols that you adhere to in collecting items of evidence?
Yeah, you always want to take whatever precautions you can, such as wearing protective gloves, making sure they're separated, having whatever mode you're putting it in. In our case, depending on what it is, it's usually a paper sack. So have that available.
And did you follow that process and procedure in this case?
I did. This was a little unique in that you had fluids. Normally, when it comes to any kind of fluids, we'll just do a swab of it. In this case, I thought it was more important to get a larger sample of it. So the clear liquid in the drinking glass, I put like in a little plastic vial that we have. That's specific for liquid collections. I did that, then I collected everything else as a whole, but I mean it was in separate bags. You denote the time and the date that you actually take possession of it, that you take custody of it, and you make sure that's marked down also.
Okay. And is that actually placed on the bag or the whatever the evidence is placed in.
It is, along with the complaint number, where it was obtained from, what exactly is in that individual's sack, and date, time.
Council has seen these items before, but I can bring the box over if I want to look again. Okay, thank you. I apologize if this may take a minute, but if I could have these items passed up to Mr. Terry one at a time. And actually, let me pull it over here. This way I can show you which one